Now I won't be able to see reactions. So please unmute at any point if you have any questions or doubt, or if you want me to go slow or explain any part again. So yeah, what you see here in front of you, this is the R Markdown file. We sent you the R Markdown for today's session yesterday. I made some slight changes. I'll explain what those changes are soon. So I'll just quickly explain what R Markdown is. Now this document, this is the R Markdown file. And as we have seen in previous sessions as well, R Markdown allows you to combine text along with code. So this makes it an excellent tool to use in order to make your study reproducible. And it is also a great educational tool. If you want to teach coding, you can create such documents. You can type the explanation for code outside here. And whatever the code part is there, in R Markdown, it is written between these quotes, these grave accents that you see, like backward apostrophes, whatever you want to call this. Between this, whatever you write, this is the actual line of code. So using R Markdown, you can combine these text along with code. And if you want to run the code in R Markdown, you click on this green button over here. So clicking on this green button would execute all the lines of code that are written between this. So once you click run, everything will get run. But oftentimes, we only want to run a single line. So in that case, just bring your cursor to that line which you want to run. And there on your keyboard, you can press Control and Enter or Command and Written on your Mac. So that would allow you to run a single line. So yeah, right now I have not really installed it, which is why this error is happening. But also at anywhere in the file, if you see this hashtag in front of install.packages, just remove it because I have inserted it there for knitting purposes. I'll explain what knitting is, but just remove this hashtag in front of install.packages. So yeah, this is how you run the code in R Markdown. And the way you can create your R Markdown file is here on the paper and plus icon, just click over here. From this menu option, just select R Markdown file and here give it a title. So this title will appear on your document. Let's say you want to create open science study or something. Just give it a title that you want it to be called and write your name. It will automatically detect your name if you have used it before, and then select the output format in which you want to produce it. Later on, when you click on knit, the final output of that file would be created. Now click on whether you want the final output as PDF, HTML, Word. So right now I'll show you how it would work with PDF and click on OK. So this is your R Markdown file that is created. So at the top in the title, you will see whatever you have typed and you can see your name here in author place. And this shows that the file would, when you click on it, it will produce a PDF document. Now, when you create R Markdown, R automatically gives this template. It automatically gives you this chunk where you can insert your code and this place where you can insert normal text. But I would suggest just delete this whole thing. Just delete this entire thing so you can insert your own chunks of code. So once you delete this whole thing, now you can insert your own chunk. So let's say I want to call it my chunk 1 and I want to insert a chunk. This is just normal text. I want to insert a chunk here. So the way to insert is you can do it in two ways. You can click on code, insert chunk. So it will insert a chunk. Now there is a keyboard shortcut. You can use Control, Alt, and I. So this will also this will also create a code chunk. So this is where you can start typing code. And this is where you can type your normal text or explanation for the code. So this is how you create your R Markdown. In order to save it, just click on save. And once it is saved, you can send that R Markdown file to anybody. Now coming to more, I will show how to knit it into PDF as well, but let's first understand what exactly is R Markdown. So as the word Markdown suggests, Markdown is a way to, it is a markup language which allows you to format. Coming to the R Markdown part, so the Markdown, it allows you to format your text as well. Now Markdown uses a bunch of symbols and conventions that you can use in your text in order to format it. For example, when you type your text here, there are certain symbols you can add around it so that when you finally knit your document and produce it in PDF or final output format, your text would be formatted in that way. So the convention is that for getting your text in bold, you use double asterisk. So around text, just add these double asterisk. So when you finally knit it, it would be produced in a bold format. For italics, it is just a single asterisk. And for strike through, it is these double, this is called tilde, I think. These double tilde signs that you see, you put this for striking out the text. And for inserting links, you in the square bracket, you type the actual words that you want to appear as a text. Like, I want to create a link, but the link reads click here to install R. So I will write that here in square bracket, and beside it in circular bracket, just give the actual URL that the link should lead to. So this would create a link. Now, when you knit this file in the final output format, you will be able to see how this is formatted. I will show it once we discuss all these conventions. Also know that there are different sizes in which you can produce your document. So there are different text sizes that are available. There is size H1 to H6. H6 is the smallest, H1 is the biggest text size that you can get. And the way to format the text size is by in front of each line, just add number of hashtags that you want. So adding 3 hashtags, it means that you want H3 size of heading. And H6 is the smallest, just remember that. So the more smaller text you want, just add that many hashtags. And if you just want a big title, the biggest title, just put 1 hashtag. So now I will just knit this file and show you how all of this would look. Now, in order to knit your file, just click on knit. Go to PDF. If you have already done knit in PDF, you won't have to click this again. Just knit to PDF, and this will create a PDF document for you. Now, at this point, it is also possible that you might again get errors. This is because this knit function depends on other functions. So sometimes it does create error, but we can also like work through those errors, whatever is happening. But this should work. All right. So as you see, it has created a PDF of this for me. So here in the PDF, you can see, I'll zoom this. So here in the PDF, you can see this text. This is bold. This is italics. This is striped out. And these are like various, for this heading, I have used H3. So you can see how the size is different for text here. And for the link that we created, if you click on this link, you see we have created the link over here. And if you click this, it should lead you to RStudio, the link to install RStudio. Okay, this should open up the RStudio. I think when you download it and then open it in system viewer, then it will take you to the link. But when you take your cursor to this, you can see that the link is there. So when you finally download this, you can download it by clicking here. The PDF would have that link, and when you click on the link, it will then take you to RStudio. So in this way, you can just format your text, you can add links, and just make it more presentable. If you're creating educational materials with R Markdown, this is super helpful. So yeah, this was just simple conventions to format your file. Now, let's look at what happens when you're pressing this knit button. This knit button actually runs knitr and pandoc in the background. So knitr is the actual program, which is it is actual code which takes all the code, all the text that you have written here. It executes it in the background and it produces the output and it attaches it together. and makes a markdown out of it, and then it is fed to Pandoc, which then converts it into various output format, whichever you have selected. But all of this, you don't need to do it manually because RStudio has made it very easy by making this knit button. You just have to click on this knit and your output would be produced in whatever format you selected. Basically attach the output of the code along with the text you have written and the code you have written. So when you are creating educational material, students can see like what code exactly does what. So they will be able to see the explanation for it and the output it produces in the same document. And this helps researchers as well. When you upload a R Markdown for whatever analysis you have created, they can exactly see what you are trying to do. And even when, if you try to visit your research years ahead in time, like say 10 years down the line, you want to look back at a research you created, like a research you conducted. If you go back to the files, if you go back to R Markdown, you can see exactly what you have done with the code, as long as you record what you have done here in text. So you can like have a proper record of what you are doing with the code. Now, this was how you knit your R Markdown and how it is useful. Now, another useful thing you can do with R Markdown is you can make it available to everyone around the world in order, if anyone wants to reproduce your study, if they have your data and your R Markdown file, it would help make it more computationally reproducible. They can run the exact line of code. They know what the code is doing, and they will try and reproduce the results with the data. In order to do that, you need to make your code and your data accessible to everyone. And OSF is one platform, Open Science Framework, where you can upload your data and your code in order to make it available to everyone. So I'll just quickly show the OSF website. So if you go to osf.io, this is where you can upload your data and your code. If you are visiting for the first time, it will look like this for you, and you need to create an account. And creating an account will take hardly 5 minutes. It will just ask you to enter your information, your email ID, and and it will ask you to create a password. So click on sign up and just enter your name, email, password, and just sign up. It will ask you to verify your email. It will send you an email verification code and all of that. So once that is done, your OSF account is set up. Then you have to log into just log in with the email and password you created, and then you will come to this screen. This is the main screen, and because we already have created this demo projects, you see these projects over here, but for you it would be blank. So in order to upload your data and code for certain paper or study, you can just go to create new project. You can give it a title. Say, what title do you want to give? So let's say I just create something new and just click on create. Just give it a title and click on create and go to projects. So you will be able to see the project. Now, once you go to project, this would be blank. Now, this is where also you don't need to worry, because whenever you create a project, by default, it is private. So nobody will be able to see whatever you are doing here. It will only be visible to you. It will be visible to everybody only when you make it public. So don't worry for now. Whatever you do here, only you are able to see. In order to upload your data and code, you go here on OSF storage, just click on it. And then here you can click on upload. So this would allow you to upload any file or any kind of data you have. So let's say I want to upload this. So let's upload this file. So this file is now uploaded on this OSF project, but it's currently not visible to anybody because you have kept it private. Once you're ready for everybody to see, you can make it public. Now, another feature that OSF makes available is you can create links so that only peer reviewers, when you submit to a journal, they can see whatever data and code you have. And more journals are requiring that during the review process, they want you to upload your data, your code. So you can create a link for that. So here you can click on three dots and create a view only link. So this would create a link which others can use to visit your project. Now here, this page will open up and scroll down and come here, view only links. And here it says create a link to share this project so others who have the link can view but not edit the project. So here click on add. And if you want to give a name to the link, you can give a name. Otherwise, you don't have to enter anything. Just click on this. Now, this is an important option. It says anonymize the contributor list for the link. So what this does is when you pass on the file to reviewers, if the reviewers click on the link, they won't be able to see who is the contributor. It's all anonymized. So this helps with blind peer review. So just click on this and click on create. Now you see this link has been created. When you copy this link over here, now let's see what it looks like to someone who pastes this link or follows this link. This is what they will see. So they will see this project and they will see this file, but they won't be able to see whoever has contributed because this is like blind peer review. So this helps with like anonymizing all the contributors and your data is available here. So this way you can upload your data and make it available to reviewers. So yeah, and whenever you are ready, you can just go to your projects and you can make it public. Whenever it's ready or whenever you want to make it public, you can go to it and you can make it public. Just click on here and it will be public for others to see. So this was just a quick intro to how you can upload your data and file to OSF. Now, another way R Markdown is very useful is it has, sorry, somebody's mic is like, there is a lot of noise in the background. I'm not sure whose mic it is. Okay, thank you so much. Sorry, that was a bit distracting. All right, now we saw how to upload your data and code to OSF. Now coming to how you can share whatever you are doing in R Markdown with your collaborators. So generally, when working on large projects, you want people to collaborate with you on code as well. You want them to review your code. You want them to edit it. So that you can do in two ways. You can either save this Markdown file and you can email the R Markdown file to them and they will edit it, save it and send new R Markdown to you. So, but this is a long process. Instead, there is a package called Trackdown. So when you install this package, it helps you create a document in your Google Drive where you can directly store your code. Automatically, it allows you to store whatever you are doing in R Markdown in that document. Your reviewers can make edits to that document and you can automatically import those changes here in your file. So your file will automatically change. So this saves the steps if you want to like collaborate with others. So this is a very useful package. Now, right now here you see in yellow, there is eval equal to false, include equal to false. This is because I have selected do not run the code. This is because while knitting, it creates a problem in PDF. So this is why I selected it. But for running it, we need this. We need to select use document default and apply. So this will allow us to run the code. Now let's do install.packages and library trackdown. When you run both of these lines, I do not want to restart it again. I'll click on no. It will get installed. So for me, it says it will not be installed because I already have it installed. So it won't get installed again. But for you, it will start installing. And once it is installed, just do library trackdown. And then you would be able to use the functions from these trackdown packages. Now, this I have written just for demonstration purpose. You know what mean does. Mean function allows you to compute the mean of certain flower lengths. So I have written this just for demonstration. But the main thing we are interested in is these three functions: upload file function, download file function, and update file function. If you want to upload your R Markdown to the Google Drive where your collaborators can see, use this upload file function, upload underscore file in bracket, file equal to, within quotes, you have to write the file name of the R Markdown. Whatever your R Markdown is named, just type the name here. And remember to add this RMD. That tells it that it is a R Markdown file. So just write the file name here. In Google Path, G Path, Here you will mention the folder name that you want to create in Google Drive in order to store this. So let's create I have already tried this and I have created many different folders in my Google Drive. So for me, let's call this like 4. Track down 4 for you, just keep it track down because you might not have any track down folder right now. I have run this several times and for me it already exists. So I'm creating a new folder where this file would get stored. So when you run this, let's see what we get. Now for me, it says uploading files to Google Drive. And it says auto refreshing stale authorization occurs. So for me, it gives me this because initially I have already run this, but for you, you might get some other prompt. It will ask you to install some other package. And if you are getting that message that you need to install some other package, just select yes. Yes is one here. So just type that. For me, the prompt says you do not have this folder in Google Drive yet. Do you want to create it? I'll also click yes because I want to create this new folder. So when I click yes, it says that folder has been created in Google Drive and it says uploading document and document uploaded to Google Drive. And if I go to my Google Drive, I should be able to see it. So see, this has been created at 5 p.m. here. Track down. And here you can see the Google Doc with all the code. So your collaborators will be able to see whatever you have done in your R Markdown with this. In case you are getting any other prompts, you are probably getting other prompts, it will ask you to it will ask you to sign into your Google account. Just select yes, yes, and allow it to like take you to the browser where you can sign into your Google account. And once you sign into your Google account and let it access your Google Drive, so then it can save this file directly to your Google Drive. So just follow what the prompt is asking you to do, and then you will see this Google Doc in the Google Drive. So here your collaborators would be able to see everything that you have done. Now let's say a collaborator wants to make a change and they want to enter a new piece of code. Here right at the top, let's add a new piece of code. So let's make the slide change. And we see that in the code, it's not there yet. It's just 2 plus 2. Once you run this download file, your file will change. Now it will ask you downloading the file from Google Drive will overwrite the local file. So do you want to proceed? I will select yes because I want it to be overwritten. So once I run this, now your file should change. It will give you a pop-up. It has changed on the disk. Do you want to reload the file and discard your unsaved changes? So before loading the new edits, make sure you save the file in case there are any other edits you have made. So once you import the file from the drive, if there are any unsaved changes that you have made on your end, that will go away. So make sure you save your file if there are anything new you have added and just click yes. So now you see it has been coming to how to produce output in APA format. There is a very helpful package called APA. So you just do install.packages in quotes, write APA. So this has a bunch of functions which helps you produce the output in APA style. So install.packages APA and library APA, just run this. So inside this APA package, we will have several functions. Let it get installed. Yeah, you can ignore some of these warnings. It's just based on the version type. Now let's create an ANOVA model and store it as X. This is by using AOV function. I'm creating an ANOVA model of sepal length. We will look how it differs by species. So once I'm creating this ANOVA model, and in order to view it, there is this summary command. So you write summary in bracket, you put the model name. Here we gave the name as X. So this will print the output. So this is the output that you get. Now, if you want it like APA style, just use ANOVA underscore APA and put the model that you created here, the name. So this will provide you DF in like how you report it in that format, and you can copy paste this. And similarly, this was for ANOVA. This T underscore APA, this is for T test. Now, instead of building another model and storing it in another variable, I'm directly typing the model inside the bracket. If you just want a shortcut or quickly want to test, just type T test, and inside the bracket, just type the variable names between which you want to conduct the t-test. I have put paired equal to true for paired t-test and var equal to true for equal variance. Just basically, this is the t-test that's, I'm sure Munna has covered t-test yesterday. So put the t-test inside this t underscore APA and run this. So this, it will produce in APA style reporting. The same you can do for correlation. The function is core underscore APA inside core.test. And again, variable names, method is Pearson, exact equal to false. So basically, exact equal to false tells that there are not equal number of observations and it will not give you an error. So that's when we do exact equal to false. So if you just run this, you get the Pearson in the format in which it can be reported. Now, in order to create tables, there is another package called APA tables. So remove the hashtag and run this install packages APA tables and library APA tables. Let it get installed. And
for me, API itself.
so then just create these models and use this ANOVA underscore APA function and put the model in it. So it will give you the APA format. Now coming to this package APA tables, APA, so the difference between this is APA is just like how you enter text in the written part. This is creating the actual tables in APA format. So for this install packages APA tables, remember to capitalize the T, otherwise it won't work. So make sure you capitalize the T here. So when you install this package, I will click no, I do not want to restart. For me, it shows it is in use and will not be installed, but for you, it should get installed when you run this. I'll click on library APA tables. And let's create a correlation table for iris dataset. So for that, use this function apa.core.table. So it will create a correlation matrix here. So when you can see the matrix is created over here. And it also gives you the mean and standard deviation. So APA core.table is for the correlation matrix. Then we have APA.AOV.table, which is for ANOVA. If you remember, earlier we created X, which is an ANOVA model. So we will put X here in APA AOV table. And the output we get is, so this table has been created in APA format. Similarly, we can also create a multiple regression model. So yesterday, I think Munna covered linear regression. Multiple regression is very similar. The way you create linear regression is by using this LM function, and inside this LM function, you add your dependent variable towards the left side. So this is my dependent variable, sepal length. And all the independent variables you write on the right hand side. So for multiple regression, I want my independent variables to be petal length and species. So I write this on the right hand side with the plus sign, and I'm creating this linear model and I'm storing it in this variable mod. So I just create the model. So your model has been created. Now I want to show this one particular function called as factor. Now, usually when you are importing your Excel file, whatever categorical variable you have, it is stored as character data type. But in order to use it in your regression model, you need to change its data type to factor so that R knows that it is a factor data type, and it will accordingly create regression models for various levels. So it will treat it as a factor. In order to convert your character data type into factor, just use as factor and enter the column name inside the bracket. Right now, species is already in factor type. So I'm not again running this, but just remember whenever you are importing from Excel, if there is a character data type, and the way you can view the data type is, let's view iris. Let's create a data frame iris. So the way you can view the data type is just go to this. If you come to species here, it shows you, if you see the small rectangle, it shows column 5 factor with 3 levels. If you import your Excel file, it will show you character. Usually it is stored as character. In that case, you first have to make it a factor, use as factor and enter the column name. And then again here you have to write the column name, the same column name. So basically that column is now getting stored as factor. And once that is done, then you can run your regression model. And this is the regression model. And in order to view the model, to write summary and inside write the model name. So here you can see the output for the model. But right now it's not APA style. This is the normal output that we get. In order to view it in APA style, use this function, apa.regression reg.table, and inside you put the model name. Let's try for mod only. So this is the model, and inside this function, I'm putting mod. So here you get the fit and all. So now it is creating it APA format, and this was just independent variable in a multiple regression model. Now there is another type of multiple regression where you also have interaction terms. In R, you can add the interaction term by using asterisk for the interaction term. Just create your multiple regression model, and in independent variable side, you can just add plus and add both the variables between which you want to test for interaction, and add this asterisk sign. So R will recognize that you want the interaction between these variables, and then it will create a model out of it. So this is my mod 1, is the model with interaction term. Now, if we want to see the output in APA format, just type mod 1, this APA regression table function. When you run this, so you get your multiple regression in APA format. So these are your interaction terms. So yeah, this is how you can get it in APA format. We looked at how you can create R Markdown. We looked at how you can upload to OSF. We looked at how you can attach, connect it to document and import and export edits. And finally, we looked at how to create this APA output. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much, everyone.